Chat, here we go. We got Dark and Rezears. Rezears coming off a great finish in Fear Fest finale. Wasn't able to take down TRK in the semi-final of his tournament, but looked really strong. And one thing that people were a bit bummed to see is that there was no Dark in Fear Fest, and that's because during the qualifiers, Dark was not able to play. But we got Dark back now. How would he have done it if he had played in Fear Fest? Well, this might be one way to find out as he plays against somebody who played a really solid Fear Fest in Rezears. Dark's going to go up quickly, 2-0. Thank you, Kill Assassin 47 for the brand new Tier 1, and then Oscar for the brand new Prime. Thank you. Dark in the Fennec. We've seen Dark play the Fennec before. He played the Fennec against, I forget who it was. It might be Dr. Known. I think he played against Fennec against Dr. Known. It didn't go too well for him. He wasn't able to hit his pogo as consistently as I've seen him hit it in the Octane. He does play a lot of Fennec when streaming, though, and a lot of people pointed that out when I first mentioned that he didn't seem to play in Fennec. So we'll see if the Fennec pogos or if just the Fennec gameplay matches the Octane this time around. Rezears air dribble, able to just roll it in slowly. The fact that it went slow was the reason why Dark never really had a chance to intercept it. His pre-jump was a little wild, but you also just saw the camera check from Rezears. That just goes to show you how good Dark's fake kickoff is. You saw the second kickoff of the game, Rezears handed him the ball. This time around, Rezears peeking over the top to make sure he wasn't being fooled. Rezears is going to pogo him right back. Wait, it's a pogo off. Rezears doesn't have the double. I forgot how clean Rezears is with the pogo. Chronic is getting pretty good with the pogo as well. If you watch his streams or his Showmatch, he actually, on Rizzo's stream in the Fear Fest, hit a nice pogo. So, I mean, this is the world we all wanted, right, chat? This is the world we all wanted. We just wanted everybody to add pogos to their games, and pretty clearly, Rezears has gotten good at it. Chronic, I know, has gotten good at it. Joria, he looked like he had a really clean one when we asked him to do it in practice, but I don't think he's ever tried it in show matches just yet. Also, Dark's zap dash is clean. Other than Zapatos, Dark now is probably the only player who seems to have it as second nature and is completely, you know, integrated into their game. Are we seeing a pogo goal in RLCS this year? I think I was listening to some other stream talk about this. I think it was Jack. I think it was apparently Jack. He seemed to think that it was going to be possible. Or was it somebody else? Obviously, it seems like a really slow maneuver. So situations for it to happen in threes won't come up too often. But you never know. I don't think you'll see it nearly as much as you see it in ones. If you do see it. It just seems too slow. You know, I think I would say probably not, just because it seems like such a slow setup, but I do think it was Jack, who's very trustable. And he seems to think there's a chance it shows up. Because players just get better and better at setting everything up, I think was his argument. So it'll get to the point where it's fast enough that you'll see it occasionally in RLCS. Your pick with Rule 1 in the Winter Major is going to be cold. Yeah, that'll be really awesome if that ends up working out that way. Rezears right now, down 2. Down 2 to Dark. Showing off what he can do on the field. You know that this is going to be a really exciting game when it is a couple heavy aerial attacking 1v1ers. Dark looked like he was looking for the demo there, but Rezears had the wherewithal to chip and jump to go over the top of that. It'll show up, but probably against a bubble team. You think a top tier team going up against the bubble team in some RLCS game will be the first to pogo? Wave dashing was considered a useless mechanic when they first got... No. Is that true? That can't be true. When the first wave dash was shown, it was so simple and so obviously better, or like obviously usable. Maybe. You know, it wouldn't surprise me too much if people... I mean, I've been around since, you know, a month since the game came out. So I don't really remember people saying wave dashes were useless. Wave dash was considered bad at first. Interesting. I think, yeah, useless is probably the best argument. there's a chance that people saw it and they go, oh, that's neat, but no one will ever use it, you know? Because it's easy to do, and then they were just turned out to be wrong, and it's used all the time. I think I remember the first half-flip video on like the Reddit or something. It was like Kronovi half-flipped and got some save, and they were like, ooh, this never could have happened if he didn't do this cool mechanic. Here's Dark's Pogo with the Fennec into the Musty. Dark looks to be just fine in the Fennec now when it comes to Pogos. As he pops this one up. And he does the thing. He did the thing, chat. That's what we're all here for. And he did the thing to go up 5-4. Once again, now that we're in the YouTube video, and anybody who's maybe just showed up as the match started, both these guys are streaming, and I do recommend checking them out. RL Dark 1 is Dark's stream, and Rezears, he's got his clean name, twitch.tv/Rezears. Both of them on Twitch. I didn't make that clear. Rezears should be able to tap this in. Ooh, a bit too high. The tying goal gets sent off the crossbar. An important goal it would have been indeed. Rezears backing out to the midfield. Soft touch, but no reason to make movement if Dark isn't going to approach him. So while he might have set up for an air dribble in this situation, or just any sort of shot, he sees Dark completely backing off. Not even trying to trick Rezears into thinking he's challenging. So he takes it to the goal line and only takes the shot right when he knows he can outplay Dark. And out of his nets on this kickoff. Dark is going to try and keep him pinned inside there. A reset on the ball. Faking the Musty. Try to go for the 50, but Rezears got a really solid stop. 50 seconds left to go. Crucial next goal for either one of these two players. Rezears pops this ball into a dribble. Great reset, Dark. Can't get the save. This has to do a lot with the placement of where Rezears is putting it. If he puts it anywhere closer to the side wall that Dark is coming off of, he's going to have an easy save, but he gets just that extra height that Dark was not expecting when he picked his angle. And now the pressure is on Dark. Try and tie this one back up. Rezears wave dash kickoff. Quick to the ball and the boost. Will pop for another air dribble. Pulls back as soon as he hears the pre-jump from Dark, and doesn't get a shot, but he does get the boost steal. Can Dark attack straight down the center of the field with the very little boost that he does have? There you see that zap dash. Not as clean as the ones we saw from him earlier. But Dark is going to collect a freebie given to him by Rezears. Rezears not playing as safe as he probably should be late in this game. And definitely launching a ball to the ground with zero boost is one way to guarantee that we see some overtime. But I guess we have 7 seconds, and Rezears has launched this kickoff to a potentially scoreable position. Dark backs him off into the midfield, but tries to challenge him early. Luckily, he demoed him. Actually, now there's still a chance for Dark. If Rezears had dodged that demo, it would have been a freebie. Dark flicks past Rezears, but he touches it to the ground, so it will be overtime. Will we see a fake kickoff from Dark? No, he's just going to go standard kickoff. He popped Rezears up high enough that he couldn't use his wave dash. Despite stealing the boost in the corner, he doesn't really have a game plan from here. So he is just going to let Rezears collect the ball. That flick is not it. Dark, the first touch, leads to the demo. And can he bring this to the net in time? He missed his shot off the back wall. Okay, he's fine. I'm like, he definitely could have scored that early. But it doesn't find its way past the other post, so he could just land awkwardly, get back up, and make the shot. 7-6, Dark going to win game number 1 against Rezears. Dark looking solid, and he's already got a pogo. Despite the win, Dark is in the octane for game number 2. People talking about the zap dash or the landing wave dash. It is a wave dash that is used after the end of usually like a speed flip or some kind of movement where you still you land quickly and jump immediately back up, but you land with your front wheels first. Basically, it pops your front wheels up and enables you to wave dash again really quickly. And it's a kind of wave dash that not a ton of people are using, but Zapatos uses all the time. And has fully integrated it. Dark looks like he's pretty close to fully integrating it to his game as well. Rezears, not one to pass up an opportunity for a huge dribble when given a great bounce. I know he didn't get this one on target. Dark challenged so aggressively. Absolutely flew past the ball at ceiling height, which means it's going to take him a long, long time before he hits the ground. Man switch out of the Fennec after winning. Yeah, he is into his more usual octane. Rezears. Tornado spinning before the shot. Can Dark counter him for it? That's not the power he's going to need. And Rezears passed to himself off the back wall. Doesn't have a ton of boost, but he missed. He missed. He couldn't get around it. He had Dark chasing him down, so he couldn't take his sweet time. He did have to try and shoot immediately, but then Dark just gave him a goal. Dark just lets him have one for free. Biggie Smalls 90. They give it a tier 1 for 17 months. You've been now subbing Biggie Smalls. Appreciate that. Dark was in a tough position there. The ball rolling down in front of the net. Not a ton of boost for him. He can't just let it roll in front of the net and not make some kind of play on it. And he can't continue to drive on the wall, which is what he would have liked to do because, of course, the net does not allow that. So that's what led to him just giving the ball over to Rezears. Rezears does counterattack this play. Or sorry, not Rezears, Dark. Rezears has got to reduce the amount of times he finds himself launching the ball out of his control with zero boost, because when you float in the air like that, you are likely to open up a counterattack opportunity. Rezears did slightly read the fake kickoff this time around. Dark, the wall dashes. Can he find the angle here? Oh, he just barely missed. That would have been an amazing tying goal. Rezears back the other way. Definitely just going to flick top right the way Dark is set up in defense. He is giving up that top right position because he wants to go and grab that extra corner boost. He had 36 to work with, which is more than enough to make a play on the ball had he turned towards net, but he does get himself a fake kickoff. Is it a fake kickoff goal? This is what he's always going for. Gets the player to roll it to him. Single jumps and usually tries to wave dash out of it, but it looks like he didn't wave dash this time. Or he single jumps into a half flip after, if he's facing towards the net to set up that immediate shot. Rezears is going to get the goal right back, though. Can you get Nupo show matches? Yeah, I think Nupo is interested in playing still. He never ended up responding to questions about him joining the qualifier for Fear Fest, but I don't think that's... Sometimes you just miss people. I think he's still interested in playing. Rezears, bit of a delayed kickoff. Dark sees that, chips it around him. There's that dash we've been talking about, even though it doesn't really apply to make anything happen here. You can see Dark as he lands, popping his front wheels up and dashing right back down into the ground. Of course, the cleaner you can make it, the more useful. So the higher you pop your front wheels and the later that the dash comes, it's a bit of a slower play. But go ahead and watch some Zapatos film if you want to see how quick the jump into the dash can be to get that extra speed. Dark is going to take the lead right as we reach halfway. A lot of that has to do with controlling these kickoffs really well. Rezears tried to stop the eventual aerial attack that Dark was maybe going to try and take. Looked to meet him on the side wall, but it didn't matter. Dark beats it past him. Another fake kickoff and another direct goal going exactly how Dark likes it. The single jump, the wave dash, and the shot. Yo, Dr. Known, donating $5 says, when is Khaled versus Abject? I'm sure that'll happen again. I don't know when it'll happen next. I'm not sure how long Jack is going to be in Europe, playing on European servers. Of course, that's the easier time to do it. But I guess it also works North America to Middle East. Long shot for Rezears as Dark followed him into the corner. Yeah, sometimes I'll do 2 show matches during the day. It depends if I found them. We'll probably look for a second one real quick, but if it takes too long, yeah, I do have to get back to work. Dark, a 7th. Up 7-5 against Rezears. This would be a very solid win for Dark. A guy who has been obviously improving in 1v1 and has gotten better in show matches as he's played, but also has some interesting, has an interesting record. His record hasn't been amazing, but he has some very good key wins. A key win over Rezears and a key win over Daniel, when Daniel was at his absolute best, are wins that can't be ignored. At the same time, the consistency isn't there yet. But if he's to add another win against somebody like Rezears in a show match, I think it's time to start seeing just how far he can take it. It'll be all about never dropping some of these interesting games that he has dropped. Considering he's beaten players like Daniel and Rezears, you'd expect him to handle maybe some of the other matches with a bit more ease. Dark flying right back into this ball. Not going to give Rezears a moment. And Rezears forfeiting this match, I assume, by leaving it. But a minute left to go and only 3. I don't know if he's changing cars, which is not kosher. But it does seem like that's what he's doing. And I don't understand why so many people do this. What? Why is this a thing now? Oh, man. He's in a Fennec now. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's not a huge deal, I guess. Is that allowed? Nah. But it's fine for now. You would never be allowed to leave in any other context of any other game. But it's alright. It's alright. I mean, there is no prize pool for the match currently. And we are just trying to have fun. But it does seem like this Fennec might be the answer right now, which doesn't really feel fair. But at this point, so many different players have switched cars mid-match. When AJ first did it, he said everybody does it. It happens all the time. So I guess when players are playing against each other in maybe scrims, maybe even 3v3 scrims, maybe just, Rocket League private matches in general, apparently the etiquette of switching your car is agreed upon amongst the players. So so if that's how it's going to be, I don't want to be too resistant to it. But definitely during like a tournament match or a prize pool match, it doesn't seem like you're allowed to switch your car. You reckon he should be kicked? No, I don't think he should be kicked. It's not that big a deal. But it's just something I never even realized it was going to have to be a point of, like that was going to have to be made. Right now he is still losing anyways, but he is within 1 as Dark attempts to pre-jump this air dribble from Rezears. If Rezears wins, it doesn't count. I mean, I think in this kind of friendly show match, I think it's fine for it to count. I don't think Dark really cares. But I'll have to just remember when I'm doing my tournament rules to list cannot switch car mid-game. Oh, Rezears, he might actually tie this up. He is going to tie it up. 9-9. Dark could not get this to hit the ground. He decided to use his little bit of boost to go up and meet the ball in hopes of preventing Rezears from having a shot, but it might have been smarter to just wait. Rezears, immediate kickoff. Dark gonna get the save. Long shot is certainly gonna be stopped and collected, but can Dark get boost before Rezears attacks back? He has 100 to work with. The reset, the shot, and the game win. Certainly there's gonna be people who feel icky about this one. But Rezears does get the game 2 win after switching to the Fennec. I guess the series is tied. Game number 3, Dark and Rezears. I think at the end of the day, we really shouldn't look too much into the car change. Would I recommend allowing it? Not really. But also, I want the players to enjoy themselves. Ask Dark what he thinks. I won't ask Dark what he thinks right now. Right now, he's got the pressure of, you know, of people. He's streaming, Rezears is streaming, I'm streaming. He's going to be pressured into saying he doesn't care. But I'll, of course, try and see what the player sentiment is at a time when they'll tell the full truth. Right now, let's focus back on the match. Rezears starting this time in the Fennec, so stuck in the Fennec for the rest of the game. Dark scores first, and we'll follow it up with another kickoff goal. Did he swap mid-game? Yeah, Rezears, when losing, left the match, switched to the Fennec, and rejoined the match. Something that weirdly is not unprecedented. It actually happened in the pro drops. Johnny's tourney, AJ did it. And I was like, I actually ended up pausing the game because I was confused why he left. He left like earlier in the match, whereas Rezears almost looked like he was forfeiting it. I could have ended the game. I was close to ending it, but Rezears came back in a new car. And I mean, whatever. It's just something that you didn't realize. It doesn't really matter. I mean, changing a car too much mid-game, I don't know. Is it really that big a deal? I mean, like I said, for tournaments, I don't think I'll allow it ever, but Dark reset near the ceiling, double flip reset. Dark popping off now. He wants to show that it doesn't matter what car Rezears is in. He is still going to take the series. I guess it depends on the stakes. Yeah, I completely agree, Dazrin. It's like, the stakes right now is that there's no prize pool in the show match. It is just a show match for fun. And Rezears just wants to switch his car. If there was any prize or anything, then maybe I would have just made Rezears forfeit that game. Or if it was a tournament, it's not allowed in tournaments, so there'd definitely be a forfeit. But Rezears bumped in the air to stop his aerial, and he's actually being super aggressive. He's diving on Dark, who sends it to the side wall with speed. Ceiling reset, brings it to the ground. The pop is read by Rezears. Dark said he's okay with that change. Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me. I do think that Dark would legitimately not really care, but I also expect him to say that he doesn't care while live, even if maybe he did slightly care. But like I said, I think that these rules and stuff that we put on the game like that come from the viewers, I think, more than the players. I really do think that in general the players are just kind of, you know, vibing, having fun, switching cars, whatever. It's a show match. And I don't think other the players who they're playing against really care too much either, especially in a no prize pool show match. But us as the viewers, I think, are probably the people who care the most. And I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't. That being said, I don't expect to allow it in tournaments anytime soon. What's Dark's Twitch is RL Dark 1. Rezears is just Rezears. Reset setup. Second goal for Rezears. I do not want it to dominate the rest of the conversation because there is going to be a lot of fun Rocket League being played between these two, as to be expected. So I am, right now, telling myself I'm done talking about the car change. It won't happen again in this game. We already mentioned it shouldn't be allowed. Let's watch some Rocket League. Rezears, a kickoff win and a third goal. Dark started off with 4 straight, I believe, before Rezears started to come back. You can... Alright, sorry. I got baited into saying one more thing. You can change cars in a series, just not mid-game. Dark bumping Rezears off the back wall. 5-3 as he finds his first goal after the 3 straight for Rezears. Rezears looking to to be patient with that boost. He didn't use a ton as he tried to collect it there, and maybe if he used a bit more, he could have pushed past Dark. Dark just punishing on a kickoff. This was a fake kickoff, right? Rezears rolling it into his corner. Rezears has been able to use this wave dash kickoff to decent effect. And shown right here as he's got himself a dribble. He sees Dark flying off the back wall in preparation for a high play. And it's no surprise that he decides to go low. Dark using the zap dash in the corner to shoot himself into the net might actually be a mistake. Certainly it's a faster play, but it makes him very readable, and it makes it very clear that he plans on making a save high. As he uses that momentum to come off the back wall. Rezears just passed to Dark, who goes off the ceiling. Rezears almost finished off the passing play with a touch into his own goal. He's able to keep it out. Dark, he's not going to pass up this opportunity to launch the ball, but he actually doesn't go up to meet it. Just tries to get it to fall straight down in front of the net. And Rezears' long shot on the counter is cleared away. Dark, no boost. Wall dashing his way down the field. He wins this corner 50. Can he finish it off? No, Rezears bumps him and he doesn't quite have the angle. Rezears into the corner with a minute left to go. He needs 2 goals. Dark escaping past the challenge. The speed has been one of Dark's main proponents in this lead. Rezears keeps thinking he has a chance to challenge him somewhere in the midfield, but Dark ends up being faster than he expects. Rezears' good placement on the first shot leads to Dark not being able to recover clean. He puts it right up behind Dark, forcing this direct double jump. 37 seconds. Rezears did this in the previous game. Came back. The final moments after a Dark lead. Dark going to attack through the air despite leading with just 30 seconds on the clock. Doesn't want to back off his game just because of the game context. Then he maybe should have touched this. He could have, but he expected Rezears to leave. Dark rotating back. Oh, he maybe just didn't have the read. It's just awkward timing. Probably should have still tried to make a play on the ball and not let it bounce out midfield. 6-6, another tie game that is bouncing Rezears' way. Pops the ball in front of the net. Doesn't find anything, though, with his 100 boost. Dark's going to have to try and make something work with very little. He tries to accelerate the ball quickly to the midfield in order to have a chance to have 100, and Rezears takes it away from him. He needed to play it a bit slower. The telegraphed attempt to grab 100 boost was read by Rezears, who stuck around and was able to steal the ball away. 2 seconds left to go. This bounce needs to be in the air. It hits the ground. Rezears wins 2 straight. 2-1 in favor of Rezears. Can Dark bring it back? Game number 4. Rezears and Dark. Dark with a successful fake kickoff to start this game. He has had the lead in every single game. He won the first one. He also had leads late. Oh my goodness, Dark! Oh, Dark is insane. There's the first, there's the second, and the third to finish it top left. I mean, we call the game now, right? Why did we play the last 4 minutes? That was filthy from Dark. This is the reason why so many people want to watch Dark play. He is the first person to seemingly merge 1v1 and freestyling and make it make sense in a competitive match. Dark pulls this ball out to the midfield, and Rezears can't get the save. I thought Dark was trying to potentially punish Rezears as he tried to attack late, but he just never had boost, and Dark places it awkwardly. A 2-0 lead. Dark able to bite in front of Rezears off the kickoff, stop that normal wave dash escape he's been doing. And another wall to air dribble, ceiling reset, the ball flying hard to the ground, stopped by Dark's flip. And despite how fast the dribble is played, it leads to a Rezears counterattack who cannot get a setup off the back wall and ceiling with this little boost as he had. Dark launching the ball once again. We've seen him do this a few times where he just sends the ball high to the back wall and then doesn't even follow it. He stays grounded. Just wants the ball speed to be as quick as possible. Does OSM not count as a freestyle 1v1er? I wouldn't even say OSM or any of the other players who are very good at the aerial game necessarily freestyle it as hard as Dark does. Dark, nice flick. Can he get it back in time? No, Rezears, good recovery. Even Dark has to agree that that was what a save to make it back to that one. Dark, double reset wasn't enough for him. He wanted to try and get a third. He maybe could have gotten a better shot. He just used the second one. Rezears in the air. Dark's pre-jump convinces him to give up on the dribble. Rezears using the bounce. Where is Dark at? Dark is he's just a madman everywhere on the field, including defense. He goes high onto the ceiling and then bounces back down in an attempt to intercept the shot and did not time it well enough. Rezears once again pre-jumped by Dark and he goes for an air dribble, letting him slow down on the play. Now high from the ceiling is Rezears. First touch reset, front flip, drops it right down in the Dark, who's waiting patiently, never felt too scared with that shot attempt. What is Dark going to do? He's going to set up the dribble of his own. He wants to start from his back corner. Falls into the reset, but can't stick with the ball. Undercutting Rezears to guarantee he gets another opportunity at it. Loves these setups. He's got another good one. Dark, that was the first time I have seen an aerial play like that end as early as it did. Dark normally, he's only dropping the ball at, after the 5th reset. He might get the first few and then drop it on the 5th, but not normally does he lose control of it that quickly. Rezears collects and scores to tie this game. Dark waiting for this ball to roll to a position he can start the dribble on. Just completely backing off this play. Knowing when to give up on the aerial setups that aren't going to work is a very important trait in being an effective aerial player in 1v1s. Cannot just try and score every last one. Dark just taking a weak shot at Rezears. Should probably result in Rezears getting a shot attempt, except Dark gets demoed, and now all the space in the world. Rezears has been effective on the ground, so he will take a flick. Early, Dark can't get back. Dark was approaching Rezears off the respawn, and a lot of that has to do with this really long single jump into wave dash, which just fully commits to a direction that you can't really get away with a ton in once. You have to be very versatile and able to make a move at any moment's notice, but Dark has seemingly been prioritizing speed and figure it out later. And he is going to be able to tie up the game. Rezears can't make this save. Chilling on the back wall with 23. He actually just started to reverse and potentially reapproach Dark right when he takes that shot. Dark, single jump, faking the flick, kept it around the net. Rezears couldn't make a play on this ball. It seemed like he'd be able to. Let's watch and see what happens as he comes in and out of the net. Oh, he missed his wave dash. He still might have been able to react if he jumped right away, but he missed his wave dash. Or, I mean, he didn't really miss it, just wobbled. So he lost a bit of control. Dark popping this ball to himself. Once again, aiming for those midfield boosts, his favorite place to attack from. But he's not going to be able to stay with this ball. He just barely gets enough to prevent. No, he doesn't. He doesn't prevent it. He's able to affect Rezears as he sends it to the corner. But Rezears has the read on the tight angle shot off the bounce. And now it's a tie game yet again. I mean, this is what we've seen every game. Dark leading, but he hasn't been able to hold on to it 3 times in a row. Ooh, that single jump. That could be it. Throws that no problem in chat, but he single jumps away from the ball. Got no touch, and that just takes him completely out of the play. This long shot is going to be free for Rezears. Dark fake kickoff to end the game. Now he needs to bring the ball there without it ever hitting the ground, and that's going to be a tough task. He tried to pogo, but Rezears just bops him out of the way to win the series. 3 straight comebacks in individual games from Rezears, and he takes it 3-1.